Hello friends and welcome to another video on the chapter Nationalism in India. So today we are here to discuss what happened after he had organized three very successful satyagrahas in different parts of India. Mahatma Gandhi. So emboldened with success with the satyagrahas in different parts of India, Mahatma Gandhi decided to launch a nationwide satyagraha against the proposed Rowlatt Act. So what was the Rowlatt Act? One of the questions I had observed in the previous year board paper was that why was Rowlatt Act being opposed? So there are 3 points why was Rowlatt Act being opposed. First one was that it was passed hurriedly by the ILC. So you can learn it like this. LIC, you exchange the position of L and I, you get ILC. It had been taken hurriedly by the members of ILC, that is the Imperial Legislative Council, despite the united opposition of the Indian members. It gave government the enormous powers to repress political activities. It allowed detention of a political prisoner for 2 years without any trial. So Mahatma Gandhi decided to wanted a non-violent civil disobedience movement against such unjust law, which would start with the Hartal on 6th April. So there were rallies in various cities. The workers in the railway workshops went on a strike and the shops closed down. So what was the immediate reaction of the British? They were, shocked by such popular upsurge, and they were afraid that this might lead to this might break the popular lines of communication. Like this might disrupt the popular lines of communication like railways and telegraph. So they started to clamp down on the nationalists. Local leaders were picked up from Amritsar. Mahatma Gandhi was barred from entering Delhi, and on 10th of April, they fired on a peaceful procession in Amritsar. So what will happen as a result of that? They provoked widespread attacks on 3 buildings, that is the banks, the post offices and the railway stations. So from these buildings you can observe that these 3 of the buildings, they represent the British power, the mighty British power. So they were, attacked. So as a result, martial law was imposed and General Dyer took command. One of the, the most heartless and stone-hearted people of that time was General Dyer. So on 13th of April, the infamous incident of Jallianwala Bagh took place. Here what was happening was that, a large crowd had gathered in the enclosed area of the Jallianwala Bagh. Some had come here to, protest against the new repressive measures of the government, and others had come here to attend the annual Baisakhi fair. And as most of them were from outside the city, they were unaware of the martial law being imposed. So what did General Dyer do? He entered the area, blocked the exits and opened fire on the crowds, killing hundreds. This, he said after some time, his objective was to produce a moral effect and to, create a feeling of to fear and awe in the hearts of satyagrahis. So after hearing this news, crowds took to streets in the North Indian towns. There were clashes with the police, there were strikes and all sorts of things were happening. So what did the government do in return? The government responded with brutal repression. So in order to humilize the people, all they wanted to do here was to humilize us Indians. So they forced the satyagrahis to rub their noses to the ground and do salam to all the sahibs present there. And moreover, people were flogged, and villages around Gujranwala, now in Punjab at that time and now in Pakistan, was bombed. And so seeing this much of violence spreading, Mahatma Gandhi ultimately called off the movement. Though this movement was very widely spread movement, but it was mostly concentrated to the cities and towns. So Mahatma Gandhi, felt the need for a more broad-based movement. But deep into his heart, he knew that this could not be achieved without bringing the Hindus and the Muslims close together. So how could this be done? So one way which he thought was to bring up the the Ottoman issue. That is the World War One had ended with the defeat of Ottoman Turkey, and there were rumors that a harsh peace treaty was to be imposed on the Khalifa, or the head. So, to protect the temporal powers of the Khalifa, who is the spiritual head of the Muslim dynasty, the Khilafat Committee was formed in March 1919 in Bombay. So now a young generation of leaders like Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali started to talk to Mahatma Gandhi on the possibility of a mass action on that issue. So Mahatma Gandhi quickly grabbed the opportunity and thought that this is the opportunity to bring the Muslims under the umbrella of a unified movement. So on the Congress session of September 1920, he convinced that there would be a non-cooperation movement on which would be for both of the issues, which would take up the Caliphate issue as well as the full independence or the Swaraj issue. So this was what was happening before the non-cooperation. If you want to know more about this chapter, non-cooperation, civil disobedience movement, and the ways the nationalism was originating, then you've got to see my other videos as well. Thank you till that time, and I hope that you like and subscribe my videos.